the echo.
No echo today, we already tested that, trust me. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started on PPRC meeting for July 13th. Good afternoon. For all of applicants joining us online, please make sure you remain unmuted until it is time for you for your particular case, or otherwise need to speak. This will help us to avoid any background noise. To the PPRC members here in person, please be sure to speak up so those attending virtually can hear you. We will start with the city's planner or project manager, who will provide a brief introduction and then their comments. Once they are complete, we will facilitate going around the room, at which point the other reviewers will provide their comments. If the applicants have a brief question, don't hesitate to ask. But if it is something that is going to involve lengthy discussions or follow-up, we ask that you coordinate with the project manager or the specific plan reviewer directly and schedule some time to have that discussion. This will help us to get through all of the cases in a timely manner, and we appreciate your cooperation and understanding. And we will start with the first case on the agenda, and this is going to be very important because we have a long agenda today. So if you have brief questions, we'll take the brief questions. Otherwise, please contact the project manager or the other department representatives, and you can schedule a meeting with them. So we go ahead and get started with the first case. And the first three cases are actually Eric, who is on vacation, but we still start with that. I know for the Manatee Education Center, Eric's comments are in the system, and most of those are kind of general, mostly dealing around landscaping. He has some landscaping questions and some issues dealing with the accuracy of the plan. So you can get contact with him, or you can, when he gets back, he's back in the office on Monday. If we have any further questions for that. Now we will go around the room, and I will start with Suzanne, who's doing surveying and engineering.
Yes, Suzanne Berglund, with engineering department, doing survey and engineering. This review passed both with no comment.
Okay. Mark.
No comment.
Ricardo?
I've got minimal comments, but they're kind of important. One major one is kind of considering the location of the chargers, because it appears that one of them is proposed on top of our existing water main, near the depth of the water main, and maybe it's not.
Go ahead.
All right. And maybe some soft dig information would be helpful.
Okay. Tracy? Oh, you got a question?
Someone?
Tracy, Stonewater?
Tracy Ward, Engineering Services. I passed it, but I did like to see drainage calcs on sufficient storage.
Sorry, this is Shay with Urban Design. I'm sorry, drainage calcs at the time of permitting?
That's fine, engineering permits fine.
Okay, thank you.
Valerio, traffic?
In a Manatee crossing, no, kidding, no comment.
Manatee Crossing. Robert Building?
No comment.
Billy?
No comment.
Thomas?
No comment.
Peter? Fire?
No objection and approved.
Okay, Medicine Law. I have no comment. Ricky, you got any comments?
No comment.
Jody, got any comments? Okay, again, you can contact Eric next week if you have any questions about his comments. We'll move on to the next one, which is also Eric's case. This is a case for City Place towers for a 21-story tower and a 23-story tower. Again, Eric's comments are in the system. I know we've already had we had a brief comment discussion already from planning, zoning side of it, so we'll move on. I know you got a meeting scheduled when he gets back to discuss those comments in detail. We go to, survey engineering, Suzanne?
So, the comments are in the system for both survey and engineering. If you have any questions, please reach out to Vince Noel or Linda Keating.
Okay, Mark Hurley, Public Utilities.
Had maybe a couple, dozen review comments, mostly typical stuff. One of them that I was most concerned about was it looked like there was a water service that didn't have a water meter. You just need to look at that and make sure it's corrected. That's all.
Okay. Ricardo?
I've got all my comments uploaded in the system. One of note is preference to avoid tapping the 20-inch main for the hydrant. All I got.
Still got it.
You got a comment, Mike? No. Matt, Public Works? Gotta go back again. Oh, did I go back again? Sorry, Tracy, Stormwater?
Yeah, my comments in the system, just before lunch. One thing I may see a problem with is the new sanitary line on Gardenia. May not fit within the water main and existing storm pipe that's there.
Okay. Valerio Traffic?
I will post my comments on Monday.
Blair, can you join the meeting on the 20th?
I was gonna talk about that. I think he's already signed up for the 9 o'clock.
Oh, it's a week from today, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Robert Brown Building?
Okay, I've entered my comments. I'll go over a couple of them here. The plans do state that there will be 4 van accessible parking spaces, but they didn't seem to be labeled, so you need to label which ones they are, so that they have the appropriate height, 98 inches of headroom. And on the floor plan level 1, the generator exhaust, the generator room is shown right by the property line, and there is a requirement for a 10-foot separation of generator exhaust from the property line. Given that the exhaust is going to protrude from the side of the building, the face of the building, it looks like there probably isn't enough space between the generator room and the property line or the generator location. So that's something to look at. It's caused problems on jobs before.
Hey, Robert, I'm sorry. Robert, it's David Harrison. We're actually taking the exhaust up to the roof to avoid that issue.
Take the exhaust up to the roof, okay. So then it needs to discharge 10 feet away from any opening into the building. So if it goes to the roof and it's clear of any opening, then that's fine.
Yeah.
You've done this before.
Yes, we have.
Okay, so Billy?
To be like, hi, so I passed it. I saw where you put the, proposed art piece on hibiscus and rosemary. Just a reminder, that the escrow is due when you go in for your permit. Need that evidence.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thomas Parkin?
No comment.
Peter Fire?
Good afternoon. Fire no objections and approved. My comments are more related to assisting in your plan submittal or development. And should there be anything in particular, to reach out with me with PDFs and questions. I know we've had many discussions related on this issue that we've been moving forward. I imagine we'll have some more. So just reach out to me via the email and we'll work things out. My comment. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Okay, I don't have any additional comments. Ricky got comments? Doesn't have comments?
The only thing I was gonna add is that on the 20th, as we noted at 9 o'clock, we're going through the plans in more detail because there was some circulation and valet and other, plan issues related to the project. So again, that's the 20th here in the planning open area for anybody else on TPRC that might have any, specific concerns or questions or want to understand more about the layout. 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock on the 20th, right here. Okay, you got it. You responded.
Okay. So we have no more comments on that. Any other comments, questions from the applicant?
I just wanted to point out that a few of the reviewers referred to an FP&L vault. It's actually not the transformer vault. The transformer vault's actually in the building. It's a future FP&L manhole that's being installed in Gardenia that shows up on the plans. It's not the transformer vault. The transformer vault is within the building and within the property.
Okay, they'll make note of that. All right, thank you. We'll move on to the third case, which is Eric's case, which is a request on behalf of Vita Nova Village for a special site plan review for affordable housing project located at 1330 Apple Street. And Eric comments are, again, they're in the system. Most of those are dealing with the issue with trees and some of the scale of the development. Most of them, all of them are dealing with some form of landscaping. So if you got any questions, bicycle parking, so you can give Eric a call on Monday. If you have any additional issues with the questions, with his comments. Okay, let's start with Suzanne for survey and engineering.
So, survey engineering comments are uploaded in the system. Again, if you have any questions, please reach out to Vince and Linda directly.
They were going to be off today.
Okay. All right, then we have, Mark Hurley, utilities.
I just had a few review comments. On the plans, I didn't see a fire line water service. If the building will have fire sprinklers, you need to have a dedicated fire line water service with detector backflow assembly. That's all.
Okay, Ricardo?
Got my comments uploaded in the system. I just kind of have like an aesthetic request. It's kind of hard to differentiate between the services and the main, the existing mainly. But, yeah, if there's a way to clean that up, it'd be great.
Okay, just FYI, Matt, Public Works, they indicated they were going to be here today, but all of their comments are actually in the system, so you can contact him directly in Public Works if you have any questions. Tracy, stormwater?
Yeah, wondering if you could maybe move the building to the north because of the property slopes from north to south. There's very little area behind the building for your drainage storage. Move the building further north, that would increase that area for retention. I have other comments in this.
Okay, Valerio?
Yes. So the parking waiver request will require a proper transportation demand management TDM measures. So please provide details for initial set of pertinent and effective TDM. And if you can kindly provide also a transportation-specific site plan or showcase all the major transportation features and their dimensions. Auto-turn analysis, if it's been submitted, please provide sheet number. And then the parking stalls located at the end of each of the rows, it do not seem very practical to maneuver in and out of it. So please provide auto-turn for each one of them to prove the feasibility of those stalls at the very end of the road. There are other comments, but are minor.
Okay. Robert Brown Building.
Okay, I've got some informational comments that I entered, but one that needs to be addressed is there doesn't seem to be an accessible wheelchair route from the sidewalk to the building entrance. And that's a minimum accessibility requirement that needs to be addressed. So vehicular access is fine, access from the parking is fine, but somebody on the sidewalk doesn't have a wheelchair access to the building.
Billy?
I put that it's not required that you're exempt. I received a letter of affordable housing, so thank you.
Thomas Parkin?
No, no comment.
Okay. Peter Fire?
No fires, no objections, approves the site plan. My comments are more related to assisting in developing your, finished plans and for submittal. If you have any questions on any of those, or any questions that you have regarding any life safety, just reach out to me and I'll be glad. Use my email with PDFs and your questions, and I'll try to get back to you on that. My comments.
No comment. Rick?
I was just gonna mention, we adopted Resolution 30622 last December. This project falls under that category because they're doing workforce. Once these issues are addressed, they go directly to City Commission for approval. So they bypass our planning board because they're doing workforce housing.
Jody, got any questions? All right. Applicant, you got any quick comments, questions?
No question.
Tom? Applicant, you got any?
So,
Okay.
none for my,
All right,
Thank
move on to the next case, which will be Valentina.
So it's a request for a Class A special use permit for a private dock on 3014 North Flagler to extend their existing dock that's already 100 feet long to a total of 165. Zoning has no objection.
Okay. Let's start with Suzanne, surveying.
Yep, survey
Mhm.
engineering, both have, we have no comments on that.
Okay, Mark?
No
what you
review
did?
comment.
Ricardo,
Pass, no comments.
Tracy?
My comments in the system, just more, important one was the, Army Corps of Engineers, permit expired in March. That needs to be
You know.
renewed.
Valerio?
No comment.
Robert?
No comment.
Mr. Billy? No comment. Thomas?
No comment.
Peter?
No objection, approved.
Yeah, I don't have any comments.
I'm good.
No comments? Okay. So applicant, basically, any comments to address, please address those comments. Go ahead, Ellie. Go ahead.
No, I can address the comment about the Army Corps privately. We don't have to do it now.
Okay. So, okay. All right, well, thank you. You get back with Valentina on that one.
Thank you.
Next case is Kevy.
Good afternoon, everyone. So this agenda item involves a request to rezone the subject property from MS 32 to a residential plan development to allow for the proposed multifamily unit residential development. And I provided my zoning comments in the online system. My major comments that I would like to highlight are review comments 1 through 4. And John, if you would like to discuss it further, you know my number, you have my email. But I would like to ask if you guys conducted a public outreach with the community for this project.
Yeah, we'll definitely follow up with all the reviewers regarding comments as needed. The public outreach is an ongoing thing, so we'll keep you abreast as that proceeds forward.
Okay. That's it for me.
Okay. Suzanne, engineering and surveying?
Engineering and surveying, comments on the system. If you have any questions, please reach out to engineers.
Okay. Mark Hurley, for utilities?
Yeah, I have maybe a dozen review comments. The most important one was probably, that the, location of the domestic water meter and the backflow assemblies, needed to be adjusted. That's all.
Okay. Ricardo?
Got my comments uploaded, in the system. Feel free to ask.
Tracy?
My comments are also in the system, are the most critical one is the city prohibits new storm outfalls into Lake Course to the, they bring their outfall out to the road.
Okay, Valero?
Yeah, please provide a full detailed traffic study, inclusive of the residential portion of the development, test 1 and test 2. This analysis will be separate and independent from the county requirements. Provide county TPS letter once available. Other comments regarding signage and pavement markings. There are several you can go through. It's mainly to maneuver is for the garage outbound lanes, stop sign, pavement marking, one-way directionality arrow. Another item is the drive aisle. It should be 24 feet in the case of 90-degree parking stalls. There's a way to obtain that width if you basically convert one row to compact. So, and then provide a turnaround space on the east side dead end of each parking level. Because of the valet service proposed, please have a separate memo or write-up with the thorough valet operational analysis. And the other item would be City Code Section 94-111 C1, where basically if you have a parking stall nearby adjacent to a wall, you need to provide an extra 2 feet or 1 foot on each side adjacent to the wall. So this.
Okay. Robert Brown Building?
Most of the comment scientists are informational. I'll touch on a few here. From the flood perspective, I note that the plans say that the finished floor elevation is going to be at 9 feet, which is actually 2 feet above the base flood. Make sure you build some tolerance into that because you don't want your elevation certificate at the end of the project to show that you are not complying with the FEMA requirements. Allowed any tolerance there. Van accessible parking spaces need to be provided. 1 in 6 accessible parking spaces must be van accessible. If you are providing EV charging stations, then 1 in 25 must be an accessible space. Looking at the stair locations or stair counts, egress from level 2, the amenity space. To get to the second stair, the occupants are going to have to go past the first stair. That means that the common path of travel needs to be no more than 75 feet for an assembly occupancy. So that's something to look at so that you don't have issues with the positioning of your stairs. And egress from level 4 through 25, the condo units. Level 4 plan shows both condo units accessing the stair at 2 different landings. One is a half landing, one's a full landing, so I don't see how that's possible that you can have the half landing and full landing at the same level. And then levels 5 through 25, I think it's the north condo unit doesn't show any access to a second stair. So you need to have a look at that to make sure you have stairs positioned as you need them to provide 2 exits from each condo unit. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert.
Billy?
Hi, this is Sevilla. So, you are required, for the public art requirement and subject to it. I put in there that, you need to contact me so I can review it, the requirements with you. I right now it's on a fail, the art assessment, and because I did not see, tell me otherwise, that there was art identified on any of the site plans. So my contact information is with my comments. Just give me a shout out. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thomas Parker,
No comment.
Peter Fire,
Fire, there's no objections and approve the site plan. We've been through many discussions with the development of this and, confident in that. My comments were meant for plan review submittal, but this has already been in plan review. And we are addressing, the plan review right now. So if there's any issues we have with, some of the details, we'll be getting back to you on that. So if you have any questions, on any of my comments, you can reach back out to me. My comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter.
Smith on Landscaping,
Comments should be in the system. The only thing that stood out was that the landscape buffer has to be a minimum 5-foot landscape buffer at the perimeter. There is a provision in the code that allows for no greater than 20% of break in that perimeter, but that's for ingress and egress. You have neither in the north and southern frontages. Anything else? Pretty straightforward.
Thanks, Smith.
okay. No comments. Well, just one comment, and you can work with Kevin on this, the clarification as opposed to, we asking for setback waivers to get to the height, not necessarily for a height waiver, so we need to determine that part of it, because it's not necessarily a height waiver, it's a setback waiver to get to the height you guys want to achieve, so you can correct that when you resubmit, and that's part of Kevin's comments. Rick?
Yeah, I'll just echo what Kevin said earlier. Both planning board and commission will want to know what type of public outreach you made. And then following up on Angela's comment, you're asking for a significant amount of waivers from both the setbacks and the property development regulations. So you need to quantify what are you giving back to the city for these waivers other than increased tax value of the building. So we'd like to see, with as much as we're giving up here, what are you giving back to the city? And then if you happen to make any corrections to the architectural plan, just note that site plan is misspelled on every sheet. So just take a look at that.
All right. Thank you. Yeah, we know there's quite a few comments that we'll work on, and we'll definitely reconvene with you about the outreach and things like that. So we'll certainly be in touch.
Okay. Move on to case number 6, which is Daisha.
Good afternoon, everyone. Gaisha Volsi, planner. This is item number 6, informal site plan review, 22-06. It's a request by Janina. It is for a redevelopment of the vacant site at 5179 Broadway Avenue. It proposes 900 square feet of retail on the first floor, a parking area, 12 1- and 2-bedroom units on the upper levels. The major comments I had was about the dumpster and storage area, and the zoning code requires that they be located in the rear of the property. And also, another concern is about the bicycle parking. The required and proposed shall be on the site data table, as well that they should follow the guidelines set forth in the code to be located conveniently visible and active well-lit areas. And that's it for me.
Okay. We'll start with Suzanne, surveying and engineering.
I know, Vince had, for survey, I know Vince had some, survey issues to talk about it in comments, his comments are in the system. Engineering comments are in the system as well. Please reach out to Vince and Linda directly if you have any questions.
Okay, Mark?
I had a short list of review comments. The one that was concerning to me was a backflow assembly that looked like it was in the sidewalk. That just needs to be relocated out of the sidewalk and onto private property. That's all.
Okay. Ricardo,
Got all my system, all my comments uploaded in the system. Reach out if you got any questions.
Tracy Ward,
My comments are also in the system.
okay, Valerio, Jackson,
Yes, please provide a clean transportation-specific site plan. We all main transportation features such as roadway, driving aisles, parking stalls, sidewalk, curb, gutters, so on, properly labeled and dimensioned. Sheet C202 is a starting point, but it needs to be larger, and please remove any non-relevant callouts. Other item, so per the SDOT letter, the 51st driveway should be right in, right out. Please install signage or pavement markings accordingly, the right turning arrow on the upland lane. And according to the SDOT letter, you would need to provide a 25 feet stroke length. So basically 25 feet between the ultimate, the travel lanes and the very first conflict point, which corresponds to the very first parking stall. So see if you can showcase that distance and adjust the plans accordingly. Let's see. Other than that, there's not any other major item. Yeah, other than analysis.
Robert Brown Building,
Past the review, I'll just go over a couple of the informational comments here. I've given you a list of separate permits that are required. Also, the site is quite tight, so contractor vehicle parking is going to be something that you need to have the contractor pay attention to. And also protection of neighboring property as the work is being done. The building will need a new address, I believe, and so I've given you the contact information for the city addressing coordinator.
Billy,
Hi, this is Vila. I passed it. I saw that you provided the art assessment already with option 2. I thank you for being ahead of the game.
Thomas Parking,
Robert touched on it, the contractor vehicle parking plan is very important.
okay. Peter Fire,
Yes, good afternoon. Fire's got no objections to the site plan. My comments are related to assisting your final plan submittal document. If you have any questions on any of those or any other types of questions related to life safety, you can reach out to me in my email with the PDFs, any questions, and I'll respond. Those are my comments.
Live Landscaping,
No comments from landscaping.
Rick,
I just want to confirm, Gracious, so it's an informal, so staff level approval?
Yeah.
Okay.
and I have no comments, so just reach back out to Gaisha and address the comments.
Angela, can we just add something on the parking plan that needs to be submitted to engineering services? I don't know which part of your, it's just a very tight site.
Okay. All right, so you get it submitted back so we can get you through the system and get you approved. Any questions of the applicant?
I would like to ask if it's possible. I only received in writing the comments for zoning and landscape. And unfortunately, it was kind of hard to follow the comments with the sound echoing, probably in the room. And for the ones that I could hear, there is a few that they were already reviewed by Zoom with some reviewers, and I understand that some reviewers were changed. So if it's possible, I would like to meet with you again with the ones that have comments. If you can provide them in writing to make sure that we can fix everything that you feel it's pending, and to see if there is something that we should talk again. That will be possible to have all the comments in writing.
Yeah. Yes, they're in the system. You gotta look them up on, through the system.
Okay.
Yeah, all the comments are in the system.
Okay, okay.
And then usually the contact information is with the comments. So
Yeah.
if there's any particular questions or if you'd like to meet, look at the comments in the system, and then you can contact the reviewer directly if you have any further questions or concerns.
Great. Well, we're probably gonna reach you. So thank you for your feedback.
Yeah, that's fine. Comments in the system, so. If you have any other issues, you can contact your, project manager, Gaisha, and she can direct you for further
Awesome.
information that you may need.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. Next case is Alexis.
Alexis Sangalier, planner. This is, the first one is 835 Belvedere, Sanctuary Medicals. It's the minor subdivision replat attached to the site plan. There's no major comments regarding zoning. They are in the system. No further comments from zoning regarding this.
So before I ask anybody besides surveys, anybody else have any, well, start with Suzanne.
It's,
Ms.
Ms.
Dis-
Noel, our surveyor is gonna be issuing a separate comment letter on this one. Engineering did pass, so.
Anybody else have any comments? Just a replat. Oh, okay. So you can, applicant, you have any comments?
Yeah, this is Dan Krentzman. Just want to know when to expect that letter. That comment was a couple of days ago. I just want to know when and how I'll receive that letter regarding the survey.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, Angela, it's a technical compliance letter that Vince submits, and I don't.
Applying for the plat requirements, yeah.
Yeah, but they can get CO, they can't get CO until they.
Yeah, they haven't started, they're not on construction yet. They're not on the construction yet.
Yeah, so, I'll speak to Vince Noel and get an answer for you on that one.
Usually he works with the surveyor, with the plat, usually he's back and forth with them about the issues on the plat, issues on that.
Yeah, there were some comments.
Usually he goes back and forth with the surveyor, but. All right,
Got it. Thank you. Oh, and sorry,
Mhm.
Alexis, the legal description is on the first page of the survey, one of your comments.
Thank you.
okay, move on to the next case, number 8.
This is, Class A for 2914 North Flagler. No major comments for zoning. I approved it. My only comment was if you could just provide me the length of the neighboring dock, just so I could have that for planning board later on. But other than that, no comments regarding zoning.
Okay. Suzanne, engineering surveying,
Engineering and survey passed with no comment.
Mark,
No comments.
Carter,
No comments.
Tracy,
No comments.
traffic,
Andy.
Robert,
No comments.
No comment.
Thomas, Peter,
Objection.
and see if we can come in. Rick, comment?
You must be offering a discount on dock applications.
That's Dan Tran there?
Yes.
You're pretty busy.
Dan's here.
You're pretty busy nowadays. All these docks we got coming in here.
Half price for anybody that wants to give a dot to us, okay?
Must have been successful.
I would say, just a reminder, an FYI, we had a dock at 1525 North Flagler, just went to planning board, and it got passed by only a 3-2 vote. So do your homework, make sure the justification is there. To Lexi's point, look at the surrounding docks in the area, and just include all that in your PowerPoint presentation when it goes to the planning board.
Sure. Okay, all right then, reach out, finish up with Lexi and get you scheduled for, planning board and city commission.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. We'll get back to her regarding the length of the neighbors, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Show small boats.
All right, number, 9.
This is an informal site plan review for 425 Belvedere Road. It's for the warehouse. My comments are in the system. For zoning, nothing major. It's the applicant. If you have any questions regarding any of my comments, feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to assist. Nothing further.
Van?
Thank you.
Hey, John, sorry, I'm on a PPRC hearing. Can I help you real quick? Yeah.
Josh?
Okay, Suzanne?
So, Suzanne Brooklyn for engineering. So, engineering and survey have some comments. They're on the system. If you have any questions, please reach out directly to Vince or Linda on those.
Mark?
I just had a few, review comments uploaded. They're more typical in nature. If you have any trouble understanding them, feel free to email.
Carter?
Got all my comments uploaded in the system. The only one I kind of want to note is, kind of to revisit the configuration that you guys shown near the railroad on the west end on Avon. Talking about the water there. Aside from that, ask me any questions, feel free.
Okay. Tracy?
My comments are in the system, I guess I'll point out one, you can reduce your parking space depth by 2 feet and provide 2 feet of overhang. Reduces non-impervious area.
Valerio?
I'll post mine on Monday.
Robert Brown?
I passed the review, some informational comments. I've given you a list of the separate permits that are required. I have a comment regarding contractor vehicle parking and protection of neighboring property during construction. So make sure the contractor who comes on board is aware of that. And also provided the contact information for the addressing coordinator for street addresses. That's it.
Billy?
So this is subject to public art. I put my comments in as well as my contact information. Anytime you get a hold of me, so I can walk you through it. Thank you.
Thomas?
No comment.
Peter?
Fires no objections to approve the site plan. Comments are more related to your plan review submittal. And if you have any questions on any of those or any questions related to life safety, reach out to me with emails and PDFs. My comment.
Smith Landscaping?
No, landscape.
Rick?
No.
Okay, applicant, you got any quick comments?
No, not at this time. We'll meet with or coordinate with the individual departments if once we get to look at the comments further.
Okay.
Thank you.
Number 10, Aisha.
Item number 10 is a formal site plan review level 3 for 28 multifamily dwelling units on a 1.59 acre site. So my comments, briefly, I had a concern about the off-street parking that's shown on the plans measuring at 8 by 20. In the code, it says it should be 8 feet 6 by 22. So essentially the site data table would have to be updated if any parking spaces are lost. And also the number of access points to the street is limited to 1 for residential developments of 3 to 75. And currently it's showing that there are 2 access points. And the title block to be updated from townhouses to apartments for the resubmittal. They changed, so. For me.
Yeah,
and it's Brian Checkis. I don't think there's any issues there. We can change the dimensions. That won't change the parking on the street. The title will get changed, and we'll come talk to you about the entrances because they work very well for fire and for waste hauling services.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, Suzanne?
Engineering and survey both commented. comments are in the system. If you have any questions, please reach out directly to Vince and Linda.
Mark?
I submitted several review comments. They're fairly typical. I don't have anything to highlight or bring up here.
Ricardo?
Also got my comments and
Go ahead. You got a question?
No, I didn't see any deal breakers. Thanks, Mark.
Okay, Ricardo?
all right, I've got all my comments uploaded in the system, all pretty standard. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions.
Tracy?
My comments are in the system as well.
Valero?
My comments will come tomorrow.
Robert?
I passed the review, I'll just go over a few of the comments here. The demolition of the existing buildings, an asbestos survey will need to go to Palm Beach County Health Department. Either unity of title or replat will be needed, because of the structures crossing property lines as they stand now. I provided you a list of separate permits that will be required. And also I've provided the contact information for the city addressing coordinator to assign addresses to each townhome.
Thanks, Robert. I believe we'll be processing the subdivision application to unify the parcels shortly.
Okay.
And I think we, on the original submittal, we had already did an address request. So we'll just resubmit that to your addressing coordinator.
Good, thanks.
Hi, this is Seville. So Brian, I put my comments in there. I did feel it because it is subject to public art, but I will let you know that your space is incredibly tight and you don't have a lot of public. So my recommendation is for the owner to choose option 2, contribute to the public art. You would have to be very creative and please don't say the word mural.
Sabili, the owner is actually on with us, and I'm pretty sure that they're going to end up cashing out, because I agree. I don't think there's enough area, and it's worth going through the whole process. Better to give you guys the cash and put the art wherever you want to put it. But Ned can certainly speak to that.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm gonna send, Brian, I'll just send you the art assessment application, and if you just send it back to me, page 1 and 3, then I'll note it and I'll update my comments.
Okie dokie, thanks, Sabili.
Thank you.
Thomas and comments? Peter?
Yeah, as far as, no objections and approve the site plan, my comments, again, are related to your plan, submittal purposes. If there's any questions that you have on any of those before you submit, reach out with some PDFs and your questions, and we'll address them that way. And those are my comments.
Lou, thanks.
Nothing, landscaping comments?
No. Not for landscape.
Nick?
No.
Okay, Brian, just reach out with the individual or coordinate with Aisha if you got any additional information you may need.
Thank you very much. Appreciate all your review, and we'll have that back to you shortly.
Okay. Number 11 is also Aisha.
Okay, item 11 is a planning board case number 1962. It's a Class A special use permit for a boat lift to extend past the middle 1/3 of what we typically require. My only comment is, or the only concern I have is for the dock covenant that will be required prior to permitting to be executed by the property owner. And I'll provide that via email to the applicant.
Okay. Anybody else have any dock comment issues? Okay, Tracy, on water.
I didn't see a permit or reception letter from DEP or the Corps.
We have. I can send it.
Okay, no more comments, all right. The applicant have any questions? No comments?
No.
All right. Okay, any comments comes up, you can contact Gaisha, all right?
Thank you.
Move on to the next one, is Linda.
Okay, so this is item number 12 on the agenda. It's planning board case number 1949A. It's for a Class A special use permit to construct a 7-slip dock accessory to the Olera project, which was approved last year. So my comments are in the system. I don't have any major concerns with this one. Just address a few minor technical issues and we should be good to go.
Then,
So engineering, did pass this, survey did fail. Please see the comments. They mostly are concerned with ADA accessible, areas and, bicycle path connection. If you have any questions, please reach out to Vince directly.
okay, Mark?
I just had two review comments uploaded, trying to find out more about the potable and fire water use of the dock. That's all.
Anybody else got any comments?
Yeah, I got one. Please provide and showcase the pedestrian connection between the existing walkway and the dock ramp.
All right, okay. All right, John, you
Do
can.
we have a DEP and Army Corps of Engineers
Yes.
approval?
Can I ask a question, John? Is are the 7 slips being made available to just the condo owners or the apartment residents as well?
I don't think it's necessarily been decided between the two. They will strictly be residents of Alara. I don't know if
Right.
they're gonna be distributed amongst one building versus the other, but they were
Yeah.
purely accessory to the residential.
Yeah, we didn't have a preference. I got 3 more.
Okay, Peter?
Yeah, the fire had no objections to the site plan. However, my comments are related to your plan submittal purposes, is you've got to comply with NFPA for such a structure as your development. If you have any questions in detail on it, you can reach out to questions, PDFs.
Thank you, Peter.
Okay. Okay, with, going there with Linda, any comments, and we can keep moving forward to planning board. Thank you.
Thank you.
13, Jermaine.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Jeremy Slaby, Planning and Zoning Senior Planner and Project Manager for Planning Board Case number 1887A for a major plan development amendment to construct a 222-foot dock with 8 slips. So the first comment would like you to provide a cross-section for the proposed dock. Next, provide the documents for the DEP and also the U.S. Army Corps. And would like you to also include the street address. And last but not least, include a note. We're going to provide you with the document for the covenant, which would like to be executed.
I'm sorry, so 2 questions I have for you on those. The last one was provide the what documents, what?
So it's a covenant for new and proposed proposed docks and improvements.
A covenant?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll get you a copy of it.
You get
Okay.
a copy.
All right.
It's for engineering.
Okay, and then you asked for a copy of the DEP and core permit,
Yes.
but you have that and you reference it in your response.
Yes, so the reason for that is the dock that you proposed initially has changed in dimension. So
Oh.
per yeah.
It shouldn't have. If it is, then we've got a mistake between plans, so I'll figure what's going on in there. It should be the same configuration. Is there,
Okay, we'll discuss.
there's something that you saw on the distance or something?
Yes.
What was it?
The initial was 230 foot. Was that the initial proposed dock length?
Yeah, it's out within our property boundary. So I think the measurement was like, we're on an angle, it's on a center line, but we'll check it out with you. Thank you.
Okay, no problem.
Anybody else has any issues, questions, comments on the dock? Oh, got a couple, okay. Mark?
I just wanted to remind you to update your engineering project, any changes that are approved.
I was gonna say the same. I have, a few comments that are uploaded on the, civil plans that were, provided.
Okay.
That was Ricky Ellis with Public Utilities.
Peter?
Yeah, fire has no objections to the site plan, but again, the structure's gotta comply within FPA standards for that structure, and if you have any questions, whatever, reach out, in your PDF. That one, that's my comment.
Okay, all right, John, you'll work with Jermaine and get you through and get you scheduled for planning board.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Last is Chris.
Good afternoon, everyone. Chris Kimmerly, Urban Design Planner. This is for formal site plan review 2309. This is regarding the temporary relocation of the SFRTA parking lot from the Transit Village property to the county property off of Avernia. Zoning staff only has 3 real comments on this. The first one, while it's not in the scope of the work of this submittal, just make note that the northern parking lot is utilizing spaces within the existing alleyway. We cannot have spaces occupying public alleyway there. So corrections will have to be made to that building permit, and zoning staff will comment on that as well. The second comment I have is due to utilization of the temporary parking provisions, there is a 24-month period in which you can have this temporary parking lot. So city staff is proposing to meet with the applicant and discuss the parameters or conditions which we will impose to grant an extension should this parking lot remain past the 24 months. And the last comment we have is the justification statement mentions the revision and total removal of all installed improvements after the temporary parking lot expires. So staff would ask that if this is the case, please provide a set of plans that show the reversion or what that would look like, or if there is some alternative condition where perhaps the parking does remain on site, just provide that clarification of what will happen post the temporary parking provisions. And that's all I have for zoning.
Okay.
Thank you, Chris.
Okay, so engineering did pass this review. Survey did have some comments. Please contact Vince Noel directly if you have any questions on those.
Mark?
I only had a few review comments uploaded regarding the water meters and backflow preventers. That's it.
Ricardo?
Passing, no comments.
Tracy?
I almost passed, but I found some discrepancies in the plan. My comments are in the
Valerio?
I will post my comment this afternoon. The main one is the no parking on the alleyway.
Robert?
I passed the review, but when you submit for permit, if you're providing EV charging stations, please make sure that 1 in 25 of them is an accessible parking space.
I have no comment.
Tommy? Peter?
No objection. Everybody says parking before you finish
Good?
No.
Okay. All right, no comments here. You got any questions, John?
We had that addition.
No, the only one, Valerio, you said you did post your comments or you're going to? I didn't see them in there, so. Okay.
This afternoon.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, all right, thank you, John. I'm contact with, Chris, and I guess we have one add-on.
Yeah, I sent out a last minute PPRC email to everyone regarding a, minor amendment for the 303 Banyan, 345 Banyan project, the Anya, residence there. That was a condition posed by zoning for their TCO to have the as-built plan submitted. I don't know if everyone got to review that or if you were impacted. There's a list of about 7 changes that were relatively minor. Zoning in that regard is okay with the changes. There's nothing drastic that changed on site. However, if anyone has any comments on that or can review that as soon as possible, the applicant is looking to come in for CEO relatively soon here. So that was just one way to hopefully get everyone's eyes on it and looking at it. But again, zoning has no oppositions to what was changed in the plans.
There are no comments. System and building through the inspection process will tell them.
Okay.
Get revised plans on the permitting.
Okay.
And for the record, public art, they have.
Right.
Fire the same comments as building, as we're involved in the inspections and into your email, but I can certainly, maybe you can resend it again?
Yeah.
That way I can formally put it in, because, yeah, we're working through the inspections and we've had meetings and stuff like that, so we're okay with it.
Okay. No public, no, Matt put his comments in there too. He said he commented on it. I'm not sure what he said.
Okay.
Okay? Anybody else?
Feel that one.
Anybody else? Okay.
Well done. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ricky.